morning, everyone. It is Monday, which means the start of a new week and the start of some new projects. Before I forget, because I always do, please like, share, comment. Anything with the channel helps the algorithm, helps pushing it up to the top. So sharing it, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. All that helps the channel grow. So I appreciate everyone doing so. Let's get into this one. I do have a question too before I forget. If anybody is good with YouTube, is there an easy way to... What I'm trying to ultimately do here is feature projects, but make it easy for people to go back and watch them. Because we have a bunch of projects that I show in one video. I know you can do like some chapters that I'm looking into. As I said before, I'm not a big YouTube guy. But you know, hopefully this channel can grow into something. In this video, we got a bunch of random stuff. We have a customer that almost got scammed from another shop, which is an interesting little story. You're gonna have to watch to the very, very end though to kind of get like that update. We have a new project that we're starting on a Del Sol. We got a little weird idle issue in a 9th Gen Civic that I've never seen before. Talk a little bit about FlashPro versus the Ktuner device and just misinformation in general. So a lot of stuff going on in this video. Hopefully you guys like it. I'm trying to, as I said, get back to doing Mondays and Fridays. Just depends on my schedule and how much I can fit in a 24-hour period. So appreciate everybody watching. Thanks a bunch. So we're inside of an RSX right now, and I was gonna put the phone on the steering wheel, but man, this car vibrates a little bit. So customer is scheduled to pick up the vehicle today. There's a couple things he wanted us to double check. One of them is when you're like braking, said the RPMs were climbing, so he was thinking that there might have been like a vacuum leak. When a car's on the dyno, I can't physically, inside the car, I can't brake with your vehicle's brakes. The dyno itself, if you ever hear it clicking and whatnot during like a dyno video, the dyno has its own brake. It's almost like I don't want to say a semi-truck, but it's an air brake. The roller on the dyno probably weighs about 5,500 pounds, maybe more. I think the dyno itself, if I recall, weighs about 6,000 pounds. I only know this because we had to move it and I had to make sure our forklift was rated for it. So I'm gonna go out really quick. Got my laptop here. I'm gonna data log it. Streets are a little bit wet, so I'm gonna see if I can try to replicate what he was talking about. I'll be back. I'll get you guys a little video too outside the car. I'll show you what kind of car I'm in, even though I know you know what an RSX is. I'm back from the test drive. I didn't mention, can't tell, it's very early. I was here before everybody got here, trying to just get a head start on the day. Why I'm showing you the radio though is if you can listen, I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear it in the video. Okay, you can probably hear it better when the engine's off. Did you hear that humming noise? That's never a good sign when you're inside of a car. Electrical interference could be going on. It could cause some big issues. I don't want to say big issues, but it could cause some issues that are hard to figure out. So I'm definitely going to notice that. I noticed it more so because I was just driving in his car and I'm not on the dyno where it's super loud. But yeah, so I'm gonna hop out. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm show you what I'm in. So now I am working on another car. This one before the day starts, but I'll be taking it off the dyno here shortly. This one I was fairly done with the tune. Started acting really weird. Now, if you watch my videos throughout all the way, then you're gonna see in the last video. This car was behind me as I was talking in the last clip. But it started to develop surging idle, one. And then as the idle was surging, the intake temps and the engine coolant temps they're literally surging with it. But like you could tell it's kind of like glitching out more so. It's not actually, you know, reading that, of course. I'll have clips more of this car though in our next video, but I'm just doing like an in-between as I'm trying to, you know, get some more videos out. What I actually tried just to do right now was take my tune, open up a new base file from Hondata and transfer everything over. I have noticed at times there's glitches in the FlashPro manager in a sense that I have learned. I don't know if this is going to fix it ultimately, but it has fixed stuff before in the past. Tried to bring it up with the one person at Hondata in the support section, but it just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like they really care to kind of listen. And I get it, I understand it. They probably got a million phone calls from, you know, everyday people just with, you know, maybe general questions that you shouldn't be asking Hondata. But, you know, for somebody that uses it day in and day out, and, you know, I do it for a living. So, I mean, there's a big difference between a guy that just ordered a FlashPro on the internet and it's his first time ever opening up the program. You know, let's say he calls with a question like, where should I set my VTEC? I don't expect them to answer that, but, you know, stuff like this, I'd like to see some stuff worked out in the program just to make everything better off. But, you know, it is what it is. You'll see some more video of this car coming up. I'm going to start it up here after I did the recreated the tune in a sense. If it's still doing the issue, I'll show you really quick. You'll get it'll be a little teaser glimpse of what's coming up on Friday. So I will add before I go up with this car, because I gotta check on. It sounds like there's a massive exhaust leak now, but I will say too, if you're a really good follower of mine, watch this video. I think I should have a video of it on the dyno. The suspension it's so bouncy. This is another one where I had to make sure the wheels weren't going to come off. I stopped during a pull at one point, and you could see it in the fender and the door and the hood just how much this thing was shaking on the dyno. It's kind of unreal. So I'm underneath the car right now, removing my O2 sensor. I didn't see an exhaust leak. Maybe it's coming from the top of the actual downpipe. So what I'm gonna go do though is grab somebody and I'm gonna sit inside of it and see if they can hear what I'm hearing when I'm in the car. I don't see any exhaust leaks over here. I was actually looking to see if the downpipe may be cracked. I'm not seeing that either. So let's see if we can pinpoint where this thing, what I'm hearing and where it's coming from. I found it. It's loud. Thank you. I should have saw this before, but I'm thinking it's more up front with how loud it is. So I am still going to check when I lower this to make sure that there's no exhaust leak coming from like the top of the exhaust manifold that I can't see, because you're looking for carbon soot like this. You know, that's an exhaust leak. See really quick what's going on. It didn't help. It does got a high RPM too. It's not surging right now, but the RPM should be climbing down. And I will add, I don't think I mentioned this. I don't think I mentioned it, but I started these videos fairly early in the morning, so I don't remember. But this little stuff that you're seeing here, customers don't get charged. My clients don't get charged. That's part of, it's kind of a perk. It's a perk of being a client of mine. The stuff goes unseen. Customers usually don't see the extra stuff that we do at times and don't charge for. That's just what you get when you come here and you're a client. It's been like that for the many years of me being in business. So, you know, I know there's always been a bad stigma about mechanics or shops where they're trying to get every single last penny out of you. That's not the case when you come here. So this little extra time, you know, it is what it is. We're gonna let the customer know, see what he wants to do. And we already got another one loaded up on the dyno. We keep things rolling here. And I'm gonna talk really quick too about our dyno scheduling and setup. More so the payment. I want to briefly talk about something. If you've dealt with us before, then you might know already what I'm talking about. Since I mentioned it in my one clip, and I notice I'm bleeding a little bit. This is where the dyno brakes sit underneath here. So you can see the air drum right there. Just wanted to show you guys, give you a little bit more insight. So I don't think people are watching probably don't have a dyno at home. So, but that's how the dyno stops. And if I try to use your brakes on the dyno to stop this roller, it's going to do a nice little wonder on your tires. So as I'm letting Ktuner do its thing right now, it's a brand new unit, so it has to be registered and locked to the car. The thing about our dyno tuning and our scheduling, it's very simple, and this is how we do it. And there are some exceptions. So like if you live far away and you want to pay on the spot, you know, that's fine if you want to pay in person. In order to lock in a date, to secure a date, there's no way nobody's taking that date, is to pay in advance. What ultimately this allows, or what we're trying to prevent, you know, we deal with a fair amount of younger customers that at times I feel like they don't take time in consideration, where, you know, I remember specifically we had a guy that blew us off, didn't even call, didn't do a no show, no call. He called back the next day, said he wanted to reschedule a dyno tune, and I said, well, what happened yesterday? Like, there was not even a courtesy call. And his response was, well, you guys got enough cars there, you can tune. It's not about that. That's the whole thing. When we lock in a spot for you, depending on the vehicle, we lock in that time slot. Whether it be a 3-hour time slot, 4-hour time slot. And what I also want you guys to consider or think about is the average work day. You know, let's say an average work day is about 8 or 9 hours, give or take. You know, at times I'm pulling a lot longer hours than that, but we're talking about an average work day. So if I allow 3 to 4 hours for your car in that time slot, that's half the day. So if you wanted to lock in a spot 100%, that spot's not going anywhere unless, let's say, something happens, you get sick or I get sick or whatever. All we ask for is a 48-hour heads up. So then that slot that we had booked for you, it's you know, it's a courtesy heads up. That spot we have booked for you, now we can get something else on there, so the dyno is continuously operating. And then a lot of questions we'll get is, well, what happens if I don't make that day for whatever reason? You don't lose that money. You never lose that money. That's the big thing I tell people. It's just about being respectful. It's you got to respect our time. We respect your time. And, you know, I get it. I understand. You know, something happened where you couldn't make it. People get sick. You know, I've gotten sick before, and I've had to cancel a tune. You know, I feel bad, but at the same time, if it gets to that point, and I know my limitations, well, I got to do what's best. But that's about it. It's a real simple, you know, easy policy we have. Now, we can lock in a date without you paying, but I will add that if anybody, let's say you wanted to lock in the 20th of that month, and you didn't want to pay, or you're going to pay on the spot, or whatever it is, if somebody were to come in and they're like, here's my money, I want that date, they get that date, because that secures that spot for them. That secures a job for us. And, you know, that's the whole thing going back. If you do cancel, people tend to not cancel, or people are a little bit more respectful when they put money down. Not everybody. Like I said, we deal with customers that are very young. We deal with customers that are in their 80s and 70s. So, you know, that's why we do that. So if you've called us before, emailed us before, messaged us before, and, you know, maybe it seemed weird to you, you know, there's a reasoning why we do it. So as I'm sitting in this fairly new Accord still, and I'm waiting for another Ktuner flash, I wanted to mention another thing. Since I've been in a car today with FlashPro, I've been in a car today with Ktuner, and I've been in a car with K-Pro. I see this a lot, where guys in certain groups will ask, you know, hey, Ktuner or Hondata. Ktuner has its place on the newer cars. Accords, Civics, Ktuner all day. If you have like an 8th or 9th gen, and I see these people that will ask the questions, and then you get guys that jump in there that they have never opened up the program, have never actually tuned on the device, and well, Ktuner is the same as Hondata. It's just cheaper. It's not. It's not. You should stop. This is the whole thing that I've been saying, and I think I got some other, depending where the clips land, I got a whole other rant that I did about misinformation online. It's not the same. Unless you do something every single day. That's like me. I've never used like a Mac computer or an Apple computer. That's like me saying, oh, it's the same. It's the same as a normal computer. Which one's better? It's people are so quick to give their opinion or suggestion, and they don't have a valid experience with it. There's a big difference between Ktuner on a 9th gen Civic and Hondata on a 9th gen Civic. And unless you actually sit down and tune these, I'm not even going to go into it. If you do, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that just goes back without saying. A lot of misinformation out there. Do your homework. Watch who you're listening to. And since I even didn't mention it too, like Acura RSXs, we get guys that come in. And flat out will say, well, I'm on Ktuner because it was cheaper. I know it's not the best and the greatest, and I know K-Pro was better, but it's like, what are we trying to do here? Like, you're trying to get the best performance overall. Would you put on a part that it's not the greatest, but just over budget, like, or just because it's a money thing? You got to think about it a little bit. It's the old saying, do it right the first time. You're not going to have to do it again. You'll save money. So, while I'm waiting for this thing to flash, and it's still flashing, just wanted to kind of rant on that. So as I'm sitting here with the car idling, I noticed it started feeling weird. I look up, the check engine light's not only on, but we got a cylinder 3 misfire. And Knock's going to want to be pulling because that cylinder is misfiring. I'm going to let it run for a little bit longer and see what's going on. If that misfire wants to come back, if we see another misfire in another cylinder. And if you're not familiar with the newer Accords and Civics and the Type Rs and how many fueling problems they have, either with pumps or injectors, it's something that, it's a newer car. It does have a fair amount of miles on it, but it's well known that these cars do have fueling issues, and Honda has warranted some stuff out and made bulletins about it as well. So I'm going to let it run and see what happens. So check engine light is not on at this very moment, but just letting it run right here, cylinder 3 picked up 2 counts of a misfire, and you could feel the little bit of a stumble. Revving it up a little bit as well. Sorry, I'm just watching as you're watching it. It's going up, so definitely something I'm going to stop because I don't want to cause any harm. I'm going to see how it feels more so. I'm going to just do some partial throttle right now, see if this thing rises at all, and or if maybe another cylinder might pop up with a misfire. So at this point, I am stopping the tune. I don't want anything bad to happen if we progress. I do, however, I will add, we actually dropped, we have a mall that's like 5 minutes from here. We encourage people to not only go to the mall, because a dyno tune can take anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. And during that time, if we take like a lunch break and we have to shut down the shop, well, we can't have people just here alone by themselves. So we actually drop you off and we could pick you up. But what I was going to say is, he did want to see one pull on the dyno. I feel good enough where I can do one pull, and I'm going to keep my eye on a couple things to make sure nothing starts to skyrocket, i.e. the misfire counter too. One pull is, this is, we
are going to be good. We're going to be safe. So I am going to talk to him too when he gets here. Ask him basically, did you have a check engine light prior to this at all? Noticed anything, rough and or stumbling? And then I'll basically tell him, if the car's under warranty, you can get that taken care of or looked into. And then I'll also say too, I don't think I mentioned it before, there's been recalls with all of this. So there's, as I did mention, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of issues, a lot of fueling stuff. There's lawsuits that Honda has on them as well. Like if you just go type Google, Honda fueling lawsuit. I think, at this point, well, like I said, when he gets here, I'm going to talk to him and I'll catch back up with you guys. So we got another car that came in here, just trying to guys show you all around and everything too, stuff that I don't do. Because as I said in my videos, you see a lot of the same stuff because I'm on the dyno constantly. But this car came in originally with no clutch pedal pressure. Spoke to the customer, diagnosed it, told him we thought it was a clutch master. He gave us the go ahead on it. He said it did suck because he just replaced it about 10 months ago. So of course the clutch master should last for more than 10 months. I will say though, if you watch my videos, and I've already said on this, let's take a guess at which company it was. So, and this is his, it's in a bag because he's going to get it right back. If you don't watch my videos, or you haven't watched them before, this has been now, it's got to be over 5 years. I pull Ktuner products off my shelf. I will not sell them here. If there's any little crazy, thing that we may have old stock on, or a customer wants, or a customer hits us up, we give them a fair warning that we don't recommend Ktuner products. Not only of the high failure rate that's been going on for some time, it's nothing new. Their customer service was pretty much non-existent. A lot of their parts are just rebadged straight from China. Quality control seemed to be lacking when we stopped carrying them. And like I said, this is not just something new. This has been going on for years. And this just still, I'm not going to say I'm shocked when he said, hey, well, I just replaced it 10 months ago and it sucks that it's bad already. But when we pulled it out and saw the name on it, it's like, yeah, well, not surprised, to say the least. So as we wait for the customer to get here too, you can see our S300 orders are getting prepared to ship out soon. We have a couple up here. Basically the boards are all done and now they're going to go in a nice painted little case that's already cut out, so you can get it and plug right into it. And I will add, if you order an S300 from us, we do offer a free base map to help you start up. So if you're looking for that, I figured I'd just hop in here and do some recordings as we wait for the customer to get here. So we picked the customer up and I sat down and I talked to him. I let him know that we're only going to be able to do one pull. I wanted him to video and see it on the dyno, and I'm glad I did, because after hearing his story, when he sat down and I was talking to him, I basically asked him, hey, for whatever reason, has a check engine light ever been on this vehicle? He informed me, yes, it has been, when it went to another place for a tune, which kind of stopped me right there. And I just said, he bought, let me go back a little bit. He bought the Ktuner device from us, same day as the dyno tune. So I asked him, I said, well, what happened to the tuning device beforehand when you went somewhere else? And then he explained the whole story, which he said that he went elsewhere for a dyno tune. They never even put it on a dyno. They just randomly flashed it. He wasn't happy, of course, because he thought he was getting something that clearly he didn't, which, if you've been following my videos, I've been, talking about relationships with your shop, and he should have known, if he thought he was paying for a dyno tune and all that stuff and he just got a flash, that other shop should have been very upfront and honest with him. But the one thing that got me, and I asked him, I said, okay, well, did you pay for like a license? He named the name of the shop. I looked it up. They're not even a dealer of Ktuner products, which means by right, if they were flashing the vehicle with, like, let's say a Ktuner license, either they're using somebody else's dealer Ktuner, which, give me 1 second, I can go grab that. I actually grabbed both of my units, and I can I'll provide a link down below if you're not familiar with the licensing. So I actually have my Ktuner dealer device. This has my dealer number on the back, serial number, and then I just, because I have it easily accessible, I also have, you notice it's black, it's my Hondata dealer FlashPro, and these allow me to license your vehicle so you don't have to pay for a device, save a little bit of money. But at the end of the day, as I was saying, they're not even on the, you know, the Ktuner dealer list at all, which I kind of explained to him, which I was, you know, hoping. I said, hey man, I think you got taken for. The good news is he said he got his money back, so that was a plus. But as I've been saying in my videos, you got to watch who you trust. He was very happy about everything I explained to him. I showed him the data log, showed him exactly what was going on. I sent him some links about the fueling issues with these cars. So all in all, you know, I did recommend a couple things. We'll see if it gets back in here. If it does, I'll cover it.
So as you can tell, well, maybe you can't tell, that icon should give it away right there. I'm in a Del Sol. We're doing an engine swap on this one. The customer has a block that was built. Been asking him some questions, and I don't know if I'm going to put it in this little video clip and whatnot. There's a couple of things that kind of just raise an eyebrow more so. I'm going to get involved. I'll discuss that a little bit more. I think I got enough footage here for this clip. For this segment, whatever you want to call it, I don't know, this video I'm releasing. So I'm gonna hop out, see what we're working with underneath the hood. And there you go, it's a single cam engine, all motor. The engine that we have, the bottom end, is got some Viterra pistons in it, so he should be getting ready for boost. I think that's why, of course, he's doing it. He did tell us that we are reusing this head, so we will check this head out. More so, what I will say, since I am actually getting footage from start, I'm going to try to get footage in the middle as well, and then of course the ending of this project. So we're going to pull the engine out, we're going to check the head, see if we feel like it should go to the machine shop. If we do, we're going to show you why. We're going to explain all that in detail. Going to also go over a couple other things to do quick tests to be able to check the valves and whatnot, which I'll also cover that as well as we keep rolling with these videos. So what I'm kind of more so seeing or whatnot, that if you watch one video but you miss a video or whatnot, it's almost going to be key to kind of watch these videos in order, just to keep track of stuff, and that's fine. That's what we're going for. As I said in my other little clips, I do have something else I am working on that I'm very excited about. So that will be a little bit different too, but we'll have, you know, we'll probably have two different types of videos. You know, the normal stuff we deal with, you know, our daily basis stuff, and then we'll have the other stuff that I'm working on, and I got a couple things that are in the works. So you should see more content, should start to build up on the channel. That's the goal, and pretty much that's it. So I was just informed, I wasn't here for the drop-off, that it does run, but there's a hole in the block, and I don't, there's not a hole up here, and the glare is really, my battery's too low to use a flash. I believe it's in the back. I don't, oh, there it is. No, is that it? Ah, there it is. Behind the AC compressor. That looks like a window. There you go. I didn't see that before. Well, that explains it. So I'll get into this one a little bit more. I don't know if it's going to be in this clip.
So this one's a wrap, guys. Hopefully you liked the Monday video. As I was saying at the very beginning, I'm going to try to figure out a way where it's easy to go back and watch a certain project. Let's just say you missed a video. If there's anybody that has some suggestions and whatnot, I'd love to hear it. You can comment down below. Besides that, thanks everyone for watching.